Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Antonio Giovinazzi. You might remember that name. 2 races at the beginning of the 2016 season. A few one-off appearances here and there in FP1s. He's now a full-time F1 driver. Welcome back everyone to the F1 Reviews channel, and breaking news is that Antonio Giovinazzi will partner Kimi Raikkonen at Sauber for the full 2019 season. Wow, let's get stuck into this. Let's jump right into this straight away. So, Antonio Giovinazzi, the Italian Ferrari protege, the sort of talisman for Ferrari before Charles Leclerc was even around. This guy right here was fighting for the GP2 World Championship with Pierre Gasly and just missed out in the final round of that season. But Gasly and Giovinazzi were very closely matched across that season. After that, Giovinazzi had 2 races at the beginning of the 2016 season with Sauber. That was in place of Pascal Wehrlein, who had a back injury at the time. But considering Giovinazzi was called up on the Saturday morning of qualifying, the day of qualifying, he said, they got on the phone and they said, Gio, we need you to jump in the car. We need you to be an F1 driver. He had the call up, he delivered straight away. Outperformed Marcus Ericsson that weekend. On his second weekend in China, didn't quite go so well, had a nasty incident in qualifying. Then had the same incident in the race at the same corner. But with limited practice in that car, I thought he was very impressive. And Ferrari obviously thought the same, judged by the fact that they've kept him on in development roles within their own team, with their B teams, and now in their almost official B team, this announcement pretty much means he will be joining Sauber for next year. So if you weren't aware, Sauber's current lineup, Charles Leclerc and Marcus Ericsson, they're both not going to be driving for the team next year. Charles Leclerc is going to Ferrari. There he is on screen at Monza. He is going to Ferrari next year. Kimi Raikkonen, who's currently at Ferrari, he's coming back to Sauber. So he, in theory, will be the lead of this team. Marcus Ericsson, what's going to happen to him? With Giovinazzi going into Sauber, like I say, making this team a fully fleshed out Ferrari B team, Ericsson won't be driving for another team next year. Which, I hate to say it, because all F1 drivers are great in their own way, and they're all quick enough to get to F1. But Ericsson, he's had his time in Formula 1. Arguably, he's been here too long. He's one of those drivers that has found ways to stay in Formula 1 over the years, and he's just stayed put. He's stayed put. This is his 5th year in Formula 1. That is crazy to think that. But this will be his final season in Formula 1. Well, at least for the next few years, as he will take up a development role for Sauber and have third driver issues, which for me, this screams and screams, I can't say it enough, this screams that Ferrari takeover that I've spoke about all year. And when Raikkonen was announced at Sauber, I said, and can we just take a minute to just get it around our heads that I got a prediction right? Can we just, can we actually just be aware that this has happened? I said that Gio would go to Sauber. I did say this, and, I'm going to keep pointing this out, that I got one prediction out of a million right. But my rationale behind that was that Ferrari want Sauber to be their B team. That's why they're Alfa Romeo Sauber. That's the key reason they're Alfa Romeo Sauber. And with Raikkonen going there, that's a perfect opportunity to have a driver they trust, as in Ferrari, driver Ferrari trusts, to train and bring up another driver. And this is a match made in heaven, Raikkonen and Giovinazzi. I really think it is. And I think Sauber next year, just like they have this year, I think they'll make another step forward. And I think, if I'm being honest, I prefer the lineup of Raikkonen and Giovinazzi. I really do. I love Charles Leclerc. Not the biggest fan of Marcus Ericsson. Even though the memes are beautiful, not the biggest fan of Marcus. But I think for the team, Gio and Raikkonen is going to be a great partnership. And I think for Giovinazzi as well, Raikkonen's a fantastic driver to come up against in your rookie year, because he's not at the peak of his powers, but he's quick enough that if you're beating him, you will be noticed. So I think for all parties involved, this is a fantastic move. Well, for all parties involved. I don't know where I was going there, but I'm so excited with this news, and Although it means there's only 8 spaces left in Formula 1 next year, that's still quite a few. But we do have an abundance of fantastic drivers. And if I'm being totally honest with you, the fact that Giovinazzi's got in, and I don't want to call Ericsson an old guard, but what do you call him? Maybe, I don't want to say a waste of time either, but someone who doesn't quite have that star quality, without being disrespectful to Ericsson, doesn't quite have that star quality that Giovinazzi, in his short time, looks like he might have. And that's going to be a real exciting thing to see next year. We might not have Esteban Ocon. We might not have George Russell. We might not have my man Romain Grosjean. All have star quality. You know what I mean? You know, we might not have these guys. And the fact that we do have Giovinazzi is a fantastic thing for the sport. And everyone said when Raikkonen went to Sauber, one of the biggest criticisms was that this is one less seat for a young driver. So the fact that Ericsson has made way for Giovinazzi is fantastic for that exact reason. Later on today, guys, I'll be doing Let's Talk F1, so we'll be discussing more of the implications with this move. Thank you for watching, as always. I want to know in the comments below what you think about this move. Is this great, or do you think, no, Giovinazzi's a waste of time, bring Ericsson back? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.